Welcome to L&R Enigma. Tonight, we delve into a story that blurs the line between reality and the inexplicable. A tale about a door that shouldn't exist, a door that opens only at 2:17 a.m. Our story begins in the vast, desolate landscape of Nevada, at a small roadside motel that has long been the subject of local lore. The place itself is unremarkable, just another stop for weary travelers. But within its walls, Room 7 holds a dark secret. For years, locals have whispered that the room is cursed. Guests who dared to stay reported unsettling phenomena: the sound of faint footsteps pacing just behind the walls, the distinct jingle of keys turning in locks that were already secured. But the most unnerving feature was the mysterious back door. It was a solid, unassuming wooden door, but no key could open it, no force could budge it. It was as if it was sealed shut by an unseen hand. Every attempt to open it, whether by staff or curious guests, ended in failure. It remained a silent, stubborn fixture in the room. Until one night, a young traveler named Colin, a skeptic with a penchant for debunking urban legends, checked into Room 7. He'd heard the stories, of course, but dismissed them as nothing more than campfire tales designed to spook tourists. He was a vlogger, always on the hunt for his next piece of content, and he thought exposing the haunted motel room would make for a great video. Armed with his smartphone and a tripod, he was determined to spend the night and prove there was nothing to fear. As the evening wore on, the motel settled into a deep silence, broken only by the distant hum of the highway. Colin felt a growing sense of unease. The air in the room seemed to get colder, heavier. The silence wasn't peaceful. It was watchful. He decided to set up his phone to record, pointing it directly at the infamous back door, just in case. He checked the time. It was 2:10 a.m. He sat on the edge of the bed, his heart beginning to beat a little faster. As the digital clock on his phone ticked over, the atmosphere in the room grew thick with anticipation. At 2:15 a.m., there was nothing but the low hum of the mini. Colin let out a nervous chuckle, almost disappointed. 2:16 a.m. arrived, and the silence deepened, becoming almost absolute. He leaned forward, his eyes glued to the door, every muscle in his body tense. He was ready to call it a night, to pack up his gear and laugh about his own foolishness. Then, the clock hit exactly 2:17 a.m. A sharp, metallic click echoed through the room, cutting through the silence like a gunshot. It was the sound of a lock disengaging, but Colin hadn't touched it. His blood ran cold. Slowly, with a low, agonizing creak that seemed to stretch on for an eternity, the door began to swing open. It didn't fly open or burst from its frame. It just moved a few inches, revealing a sliver of perfect, impenetrable darkness beyond. It was a blackness so profound it seemed to swallow the dim light of the room. And from that void, a sound emerged. It was a soft, dry whisper that slithered through the air and wrapped itself around his name, Colin. Terror seized him. This was no prank, no mechanical failure. The whisper was intimate, ancient, and filled with a chilling familiarity. He didn't wait for a second invitation. Colin scrambled off the bed, his vlogging ambitions forgotten, and bolted out of the room, leaving all of his belongings behind. He ran through the empty motel corridor, burst through the lobby doors, and didn't stop running until the motel was a distant speck in his rearview mirror. But his phone, left on the tripod, kept recording. The footage he abandoned captured what happened next. For 13 long, agonizing minutes after the whisper, the video shows nothing but the slightly ajar door and the oppressive darkness behind it. The only sound is a low, buzzing static that gradually grows in volume. Then, something shifts. A shape, tall and impossibly thin, detaches itself from the darkness in the doorway. It glides silently into the room, a fluid silhouette against the dim light. It moves with an unnatural grace, its form indistinct and wavering, like heat rising from pavement. As it drifts closer to the camera, one horrifying detail becomes clear. It has no face, just a smooth, blank surface where features should be. The figure stops directly in front of the lens, and the footage dissolves into a chaotic mess of loud, screeching distortion before cutting to black. The next morning, the motel staff entered room 7 to clean it. They found it empty. Colin's belongings were scattered around, and his phone was sitting on the bed, still on the tripod. It screamed dark. The back door, the one that had been sealed for as long as anyone could remember, now stood wide open, a gaping maw leading to nothing. And on the nightstand, the room's digital alarm clock was frozen, its display stuck on a single, silent number, 217. Colin was never seen or heard from again. The legend of Room 7 has only grown since that night. The motel owners, terrified, eventually boarded up the room for good. But the story doesn't end there. Some say the door isn't confined to that single room in Nevada anymore. It's a phenomenon that travels. There are scattered reports from other motels, other lonely places across the country, of a mysterious, unopenable door that suddenly appears where none was before. The stories are always the same: a strange coldness, an unshakable feeling of being watched, and a single, specific time. So, if you ever find yourself in a strange room late at night and you wake up to see the clock read to 17 a.m., listen carefully. If you hear the faint, slow creak of a door opening nearby, a door you know should be locked, whatever you do, don't look. If you want to explore more mysteries that lurk in the shadows, subscribe to L&R Enigma. Like this video, leave a comment with your own unexplained experiences, and ring that notification bell before the next door opens for you.